Hi, guys. Welcome back to the That's Where I'm At podcast. Today, it's just me. Today, we're going to be talking about rebuilding our self worth, knowing your value, and setting boundaries. That was a key for me in my healing journey. So, you've left the relationship. Maybe you thought that once you walked away, you'd feel free, confident, and ready to take on the world. But instead, you feel stuck. Doubt creeps in, your self worth is still shaky, and you're wondering, why don't I feel better? First of all, let's clear something up. Healing is not instant. Just because you left the toxic relationship doesn't mean all the damage disappears overnight. In this episode, we're going to be tackling three huge areas that can transform your healing journey: self worth, core values, and boundaries. And we're going to bust some common myths along the way that might be keeping you stuck. So I'm so glad you're here. So, why do you still feel unworthy even after leaving? Leaving a toxic relationship is a huge step, but it's not a magic fix. I literally thought that I was walking out of my marriage and I would be like, well, I'm getting rid of the problem and things would just be better. I mean, I don't know why I thought that. I was so desperate to get out and heal that I really just thought I'm getting rid of the problem. Things are going to be great overnight. But the damage didn't happen overnight. And so your healing is not going to happen overnight. The damage happened over years of conditioning. So your nervous system is still wired to seek approval, to avoid conflict, and to question yourself. And that doesn't change just because you physically left. So, a myth that I want to bust today is leaving the relationship automatically makes you feel empowered. We want that dramatic, I took my life back moment, but healing is more like a slow unfolding than a grand finale. So there's another myth. If you struggle with self worth, it means you should have stayed. And the answer to that is no. Struggling after leaving doesn't mean you made a mistake. It means you're detoxing from years of manipulation. So I want you to remember that. Myth number 3: therapy or self help should fix your self worth overnight. Therapy is powerful, self help is powerful, but self worth is an inside job that takes practice, not just information. So make sure that you're taking in that information, but you're also doing the things that are going to make you feel better. So here's something you can do: rebuilding internal validation. So try this today. Instead of seeking external validation, start giving it to yourself. Each night, write down one thing you did well that day, no matter how small. Self worth isn't a switch, it's a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. I want you to remember that all the little wins add up to those big wins. Write them all down. Even if a little win that day is that you got out of bed or you didn't cry for an hour, it's okay. The little wins will add up to the big wins. So, what are the most important things in your life? A toxic relationship forces you to prioritize someone else's needs. It's like you slowly erase yourself. Now is your time to reclaim you, and that starts with getting clear on what truly matters. And so, a myth about that is that you must put others before yourself to be a good person. And sacrificing yourself for everyone else isn't noble, it's self abandonment. And we've probably been doing that for years, especially if we've been with someone who's a narcissist who demanded that we put them before ourselves or everyone else before ourselves. I know I was in that situation. Here's a myth: finding a new relationship will fill the void. Please don't do this. No person can give you the identity you lost. You have to rebuild that for yourself first. So, some people think that getting into a new relationship right away is the prize, and it's not the prize. What you're going to find is that you are the love of your life. And when you can learn to love yourself first and sit in that, then you will be able to move forward and rebuild in a more positive and healthy way. Here's another myth: your past defines your future. Oh no, just because you didn't know your worth before, it doesn't mean you can't step into it now. So here's something you can try today. Write down 10 things that light you up. What makes you feel at peace, energized, or alive? Narrow that list down to 5, and those are your core values. And as we're going into, and when we're working in my group coaching program, we're going to really dig down into those core values that drive you every day. If you don't know your values, you'll accept anything. But when you're clear on them, you make choices that align with your truth. At the beginning, it might not even seem clear what your values are because we've been being told and manipulated into believing maybe the values of someone else. Okay, so this is my favorite one, getting clear on what boundaries are and how to use them. Now, as a recovering people pleaser, boundaries were the scariest thing in the world to me. But I want you to understand that healthy boundaries are going to be the game changer for you. So, why are boundaries essential in healing? If self-worth is what you believe about yourself, boundaries are how you protect it. Boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about controlling what you allow in your life. And as we're going through the midlife reset group coaching, you're going to learn how to set healthy boundaries with those around you and what that looks like. Here's a myth, and this is something you may have heard all your life, especially if you are a recovering people pleaser or currently a people pleaser like I used to be. Boundaries are mean and selfish. Oh, no, they are not. Boundaries are an act of self-love. You wouldn't let someone trash your house. Why let them trash your emotional space? Here's another myth. Setting a boundary guarantees people will respect it. Well, nope. Narcissists hate boundaries. Some people will push back. That doesn't mean you're wrong in setting boundaries. It actually means you're doing something right. The people who are going to have the most issue with you having boundaries are the ones that benefited from you not having any. That's how you're going to know something's going right. And here's another myth. If someone gets upset, you must have done something wrong. No, other people's emotions are not your responsibility, period. So here's something you can try today. Just start small. If big boundaries feel scary, start with a small one. Maybe it's not answering calls immediately, saying no to an invitation that you don't want, or even just pausing before responding to someone. So boundaries aren't about keeping people out. They're about keeping you safe. Imagine them as a door, not a wall. Self-worth, core values, and boundaries are all connected. The more you know who you are, the less you'll tolerate anything that doesn't align with that. If you're ready to go deeper into this work, my Midlife Reset Masterclass is designed just for you. We spend 10 weeks rewiring your self-worth, getting crystal clear on your values, and setting boundaries that stick. You don't have to figure this one out alone. I've been where you are, and I'll walk with you in every step of the way. Healing is possible. You're not too broken. It's not too late, and you're not too much. You are becoming, and that is powerful. Check the show notes for all the details on Midlife Reset. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it. As always, I'm rooting for you from here. Talk to you in the next episode.